Welcome to The Crooked Climb with Suzanne and Denise. Life and business are not linear. Let's get moving with honest, reliable, and unbiased information you can use to master life and business. We've all experienced life's ups and downs. In this show, Suzanne and Denise are committed to moving onward, upward, and most of all, learning from the biggest challenges we face in life and business. Join in the conversations with experts in their respective fields of health, wellness, personal development, fitness, and fun. And that's not all. Your path to self-mastery starts here. No climb is a straight line. Goals are achievable with clear targets. The ascent begins now.
Hello. Welcome everyone to The Crooked Climb. I'm Denise Stegall. I'm here today with my co-host, STK, Suzanne Taylor-King. Hey, Suzanne, how are you doing? Hello.
How are you this morning?
Awesome. Thank you. So, Suzanne, you and I know in each episode of The Crooked Climb, we give our listeners real, honest solutions to everyday challenges that they're experiencing in life and business, right?
Absolutely.
So, one of the things that I really love about what we do here at The Crooked Climb is it really doesn't matter when somebody listens or catches an episode, if they catch them out of sequence or, they catch one, 2 weeks after we've done it. And what I think is really cool about that, why that is the case, is because we show our listeners that when they do three simple things, 1, 2, 3, guys, nourish, move, and be, everything in your life comes together. So it doesn't matter if, you're listening to a nourish episode, 2 weeks after we did it, because guess what? That still applies. So important. I think, especially in the days of, everybody wants to be perfect and do things, in a certain way. We kind of give people the freedom to be imperfect, so to speak.
I like that.
So everyone, The Crooked Climb is available on Transformation Talk Radio Network. You can also see episodes on livinghealthylist.com, on Apple, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And of course, if you like what you hear, please subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. Go in there, listen to past episodes of The Crooked Climb, and let us know what you think and how we can help you moving forward. So enough about that. Suzanne, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Well, this is exciting because I love future casting. I love being prospective about the future. And one of my words for next year is abundance and prosperity. And that means more than money to me. It's about having more choices, making better decisions, realizing what's working and what's not, and having that courage to move forward. So that's what we're going to dive into today, and focus mainly on what we're willing to do different to get our mission and our values out there in the world. And I think this is really key as an entrepreneur, that if you're always doing things exactly the same, even if you have a very successful financially business, right? If you're always doing things the same and not willing to take those chances or make some different decisions, your business is going to stay stuck or stagnant.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter what level you're at. And that's why I think new thoughts, new decisions, new technology is always so exciting to me. But there has to be a balance too, right? We always can't be going for the
all the
shiny
new
object.
stuff.
Yes.
And I would say I agree with everything you just said, except for one thing, because one thing that you just said scares the bejesus out of me, and that's technology.
Well, that's what you have me for.
I know. But I think that's an important thing. I know it scares me, and I don't love to make those decisions. And I think a lot of people are afraid of technology. It's constantly changing and upgrading, and I have to upgrade, my Windows to 11, and I'll keep going, no, not yet. Because there's a learning curve with all of that. And I think that's an important piece for us to remember, that everything is a bit of a learning curve. And whether it's technology or, a new diet, it's okay. Again, it's not about being perfect. It's about, I hate to say imperfect, but it's not about being perfect, but it is about making those choices and taking those steps that are uncomfortable.
Well, we could also look at it as when, you know, we're a certain age or after a certain age, it's important to continue to still learn new things and
Mhm.
challenge yourself in different ways, because that's what actually keeps your brain young. So that could be a whole show for us to talk about just that.
Mhm.
But also realizing what you're good at and
Mhm.
what you're not,
Right.
and surrounding yourself with people who fill in those gaps for you, which I think that's so much of what we do for each other and what
Mhm.
we hope to do for our listeners. It's take this content that we've produced over the last year and have it fill in the gaps for entrepreneurs. And you know, let's think about how much we've gotten from our relationship with each other.
Mhm.
And then think about the people that don't have that. And that's one of the things I'm willing to do differently next year, is to be a little bit bolder in the people I am inviting into that circle to experience what it's like to work with me, because I see so many people struggling. And so that was really a decision I came to a couple
Mhm.
months ago. And I said, look, I'm going to do this differently than everyone else. I don't know what that is, but I need to start looking at what I need to do differently than
Mhm.
everyone else. How about you?
Absolutely. And we really took a look. I took a look at what we were doing at Living Healthy List. And Living Healthy List is an incredible resource for health, wellness, personal development, and of course, bringing more fun into life. But we needed to be bigger. Like you said, I'm going to use your word, bolder. And so
Mhm.
what we're doing in the new year, and this was a big decision and kind of a scary one too, is we're still going to be this incredible resource, but we're taking that next step to become an actual coaching resource as well. So,
Mhm.
people have always been able to come to Living Healthy List and get great resources, connect with an expert like directly through our website. They can go to their contact page. And so people have always been able to do that. We've always supplied an amazing amount of fabulous information and content and stuff that people are looking for on a daily basis.
Mhm.
And so that's always been kind of step one. I've always expected that to be step one. So we're ready for step two, where now it's time to bring that audience into a room. Like you're saying, bringing people in, being bold about who we're inviting into the room. And
Mhm.
really, we say this all the time. At some point in life, everybody needs a coach, whether it's a business coach or a health coach or a personal coach, whatever it might be. But it's really hard to find that person who you connect with, because I mean, you and I talk about this all the time. The internet is full of sales pages and these great videos, and these people we call them the gurus. Um, but gurus are not coaches. And I think
Mhm.
that's something that I decided recently, kind of reflecting on this past year. Who are the people that I'm listening to? There are these people out there who, we look to because they're so big and, they've done so well and they're so successful, the Tony Robbins of the world. And he's amazing. But
Mhm.
if everybody's listening to Tony Robbins and everybody's doing it Tony Robbins way, is that the right way for me?
Mm.
Probably not. And I think that's where we're going with Living Healthy List, is to get back to like what coaching is supposed to be. It's that it's one-on-one or group, but we're actually launching a membership, an annual membership, inexpensive. So it's something that everybody who is really looking to make that next year, make these choices next year, um, positive choices,
Yeah.
real choices, and life sustaining choices. We're here to help everybody go to that next level because we're actually connecting with our audience through this membership.
Well, you know how I feel about coaching in general. Coaching is what we're doing right now. It's having conversations. It's actually knowing your client and
Right.
knowing their struggles and their business. And
Mhm.
it's almost an intimate experience, and that's how I end up remaining connected to so many clients after
Mhm.
their coaching engagement is over, right? That's how I built this amazing
Right.
network of people. And I think that's one of the things that's missing from working with a really high level, or I should say high cost
Very
coach
different. Mhm.
who has scaled their business so that they're the face of the business, but they're not actually working with clients
Right.
anymore. It's their sub coaches or people that they've trained are actually
Mhm.
engaging with the client.
Right.
Um, so this is where I struggle a bit, with that concept and that business model of
I agree.
scaling your
Mhm.
business. I'd rather have 50 revenue streams and still work one-on-one with clients. That's my philosophy.
I
But
agree. I think coaching. I'm sorry. You let me
no, go ahead.
let you finish your thought.
I was just
I
going to say, but I like the idea of being able to test out a coach before you actually invest in a
Mhm.
year-long 6-month program that's not even tailored for you. And our missions are so aligned
Mhm.
when it comes to that. I think that's why I'm happy to be an expert for the Living Healthy list. And I'm happy to have you on my advisory board. That personal compass that
Mhm.
keeps me grounded, and reminds me of that mission to still be a coach and
Mhm.
still be connected to my people.
That, the connection part really is essential because, I've done programs in the past and, we mentioned, these people who we think are so high powered because their programs are really expensive. And again, the word program is
Mhm.
to me really gets away from coaching. It's good to have some kind of um, content for people, but the program's always, you have to do this step and then this step. And, if you follow me 100%, then you'll be successful. But you never really get to talk to me. That was how those programs, the program that I'm thinking about, that I did a couple of years ago, um, I still have like post-traumatic stress disorder from that
Mhm.
program, you know, because it was expensive and I really thought I was going to get something very different than what I did. Um, and I kind of felt like I was duped.
Mm.
Again, it was
Mhm.
this grandiose person on the stage, great stage presence, said all the right things, and kind of enrolled me into a program, but the connection was never there. I didn't really ever talk to her one on one. There was a group meeting with something like 600 other people. You know, I like working in groups, but 600 people that's a lecture in college. Um, so that connection piece was never there. That was never established. And I think that's really where you and I connect, you and I connect and realize that connection is important. Well, if this is important to us, why would that not be important to our clients?
Well, I think a lot of people don't know that that's what coaching is. That coaching is a relationship
Mm-hmm.
between two people.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the coach has experienced what the coachee is going through 10 years ago, 5 years ago, five
Mm-hmm.
minutes ago, doesn't matter. Hopefully, the coach is 5 minutes ahead of the client. And that's, hmm, I really think it's about the relationship, asking the right questions. It's not about having all the answers. I love having resources
Mm-hmm.
for my clients, and so do you. But it's really about helping the client find the resources, find the answer within
Right.
themselves. And we talk a lot about our intuition in our private conversations. And I want to just put it out there publicly that we've both shared this with each other, that we've wished, as we review the past year, certain things we could have made better decisions had we tapped into that internal compass of, is this going to grow my business, or is this going to grow someone else's business?
Mm-hmm.
And that has been my pivot point over the last couple months, realizing that so many things I was doing were not that they weren't benefiting me. I don't want to say that.
I agree. I'm with you.
Everything is a growth experience.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot do all growth experiences, learning experiences, networking experiences, casual meeting, breakfast, coffee experiences, and not have the calendar filled up with paying you experience. Right. So I think that's another lesson for the past year, that it's all about that balance.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the other things we both learned, and you and I this is a conversation that you and I have had several times, and just again recently, is when that person says to you that, they want to pick your brain, they want, it's kind of like the coffee clutch thing, like, oh, come, let's, I'd love to talk to you about, how you could help my business, or what do you think about this? And, the good person, the friend in us, always wants to say yes and to help and support. And I think it's really important, and this is something in the new year that I really would like to work on, is, where does, a friendship kind of end, and, and a business relationship begin? Because you really can't coach your friends. It really is, not a conflict of interest, but sometimes too much, and that is a challenge. But I think when it comes to the friends and family, or whomever it might be, kind of always wanting to kind of dip their toe in and saying, hey, can you help me out? You and I are always willing to say, sure, we're happy to help. But that comes with a price: time, energy. And truly, that's time and energy that you could be putting with either a paying client, or, for our listeners, that's something that you can be putting your energy into something else. Obviously you want to help people do the best you can, but when it's, you're always giving, and you're not receiving, that's something to really step back and reflect about.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that at the beginning of last year, when I partnered with Sharzad Charmaine to offer the emotional intelligence program, I was in the process of inventing an emotional intelligence program for myself when I came across a Stanford University program in emotional intelligence that has been researched for 15 years, done in some major corporations with some major leaders. And I said, okay, well, I could, no doubt, over the next 5 to 10 years, invent an incredible program. But I don't need to, because it's already been done, been researched, been created by a world-renowned double PhD. Like, okay. So I think I could do that, but I don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
And I think that's important for people to remember, that it's not, there is no new information. There is no, everything in every online course, every program, every book is just a different person's perspective on some fundamental
Mhm.
life and business principles. So coaching is really about having a vast knowledge of those principles
Mhm.
and being able to guide people and ask the right question. And the cool part about that, and what I love so much about your business, and I think when you're passionate about your clients or your friends' businesses,
Mhm.
it's amazing. I can't imagine working with people that I wasn't passionate about their business.
Yeah, I don't think that would
What's
work.
I don't think so either, but I mean, I'm sure people do it, but I don't think it would work for me because the ideas wouldn't come.
Mhm.
But the cool part about Living Healthy List is all the different experts and the different scopes of
Mhm.
knowledge that you can tap into. And I know being an expert, for those of you out there that are interested in hearing more about that, you have to reach out to Denise. See how I can pitch your business so much easier than mine.
I know.
Fascinating. But the network of people that
Mhm.
I've gotten to meet and be connected to is incredible to have those resources,
Mhm.
not only for myself, but for my clients.
Mhm. And that's something you've always been amazing at, is, making those connections with people and
Mm-hmm.
truly remembering each of your clients and bringing them the resources that they need when they need them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's unique in the way you run your business. A lot of coaches will say, oh, here, go read this article or read this book, but you have much more. You go a lot deeper with your clients because you have these other contacts and
Mm-hmm.
aren't afraid of they're going to take my client away,
Mm.
because there's a lot of that in the coaching world. Oh, my
There is.
client, your client.
There's a lot of fear.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I have a new corporate client that's going to be starting in January, and they needed three different things. And one of them is my culture fix program. But the other two things, I know about them.
Hmm.
I could prepare and make it okay. But why would I do that when I have another coach that I'm connected to that is certified DISC provider, and she's going to do the DISC assessments on the
Hmm.
whole corporation, all the leaders, all the employees. She was shocked that I was going to bring her in
Hmm.
to do that because she's a coach who does exactly what I do. And I said, they signed up to work with me, but you have this skill that I
Hmm.
don't have, that I don't
Hmm.
have any desire
Right.
to do. So we're going to have an agreement written up, and I'm going to bring you in. You're going to function as somebody on my team, and you're going to make money.
Hmm.
Why would you not be interested? And if you're not interested, tell me right now,
Right.
and I'll find somebody else.
Right. Well, I
But
think
I think it's that collaboration that
mhm. And I think the
really attractive.
collaboration works with every, kind of within all different businesses. Obviously, within
Hmm.
coaching, this is a great example. But I think for people in business, it's really important to understand collaboration and how that actually grows your business. It's not a way to kind of pass the buck, because I think some people think, oh, we'll just, we'll collaborate and we'll have them do this. It's a way of really growing together, and it shows your customers and your clients that it's bigger. It's bigger than you. That
Yeah.
you really care. You want to move them forward, and
Yeah.
clients remember that.
Well,
So.
I wrote that down for 2022 that I wanted my community my Idea Lab community to be, instead of me showing up and giving, that's not going to change. That's who I
You
am.
always give. You're a giver.
But I want to create that community where when Denise shows up, Denise receives clients or finds the person in that network that she needs to make a logo or to do something else. And because I have that in my head, I want other people to have that network of people to turn to that it's taken me 15 years to cultivate that.
And I think the word network, I think we think network, we think, oh, we have to go to a networking event, whether it's business, personal, whatever it might be. I think the network of people that you surround yourself with, and again, this kind of goes back to the top 5 people who you spend your time with in, think of this in your business, who are the people that you're networking with? Like, who are the people you're doing business with? And if this goes back to, if you're growing their business, and that's great. If they're reciprocating and giving you business too, that's the purpose of the network. It's not all about, it's not all one side. And I think that's one thing that we should remind ourselves of in the new year is, it's a two-way street. It is a give and take, and it's not necessarily 50-50, but it is absolutely a give and take. And I think that's really essential to think about. So Suze, we're close to closing time. So let's, you're going to do the close today. So I'll ask you this one last question.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you would like to have our listeners do next year to help them live that healthy, happy life in business and in personal life in 2022?
Well, I would say if you're feeling stuck or confused or just a little bit lost with all the information and all the inputs out there online, and you can easily come to Denise or I or Living Healthy List or SuzanneTaylor-King.com and discover, nourish, move, and be, and maximize every aspect of your life and your business, and surround yourself with people who get it and people who understand what it feels like to be stuck and be able to propel yourself past that. And I just like to say thank you for the last year, Denise. It's been amazing doing this podcast with you. And I look forward to our future ventures with coffee chats and the Wonder Series and a new year full of new beginnings, new choices, new adventures for me and my business bestie, Denise. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy new year. And don't forget to create your best life.
Love it. Thank you, Suze, for everything you do. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to The Crooked Climb with Suzanne and Denise. Life and business are not linear. Your go-to solution for honest, reliable, and unbiased information you can use to master your life and business. To connect with Suzanne, visit thetailoredconsultingagency.com. That's tailored, TAYLORD. And to connect with Denise, visit livinghealthylist.com.